The Green Bay Packers are gearing up for what could be a pivotal 2026 season, and the stakes couldn't be higher. With a disappointing end to the 2025 campaign still fresh in our minds, it's vital for fans to focus on how the Packers can rebound and make a statement this year. So, where are you watching from? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Last season, the Packers started with a bang, showcasing their potential with impressive victories over the Detroit Lions and Washington Commanders. The acquisition of Micah Parsons had fans buzzing with optimism, especially as the team surged to a 9-3-1 record, highlighted by a triumphant win over the Chicago Bears at Lambeau Field. But then, the unthinkable happened. A game against the Denver Broncos took a disastrous turn when Christian Watson suffered a shoulder injury. Parsons was lost for the season with a torn ACL, and Zach Tom's knee injury further derailed any hopes for success. The season that began with such promise ended in heartbreak, concluding with 5 straight losses. As we look ahead to the 2026 season, it's clear that the Packers have the opportunity to start strong once again, but a grueling stretch in their schedule may define their fate. This is where the focus should be on how they finish. The Thanksgiving Eve matchup against Sean McVay's Los Angeles Rams will be a significant test. By that point, we expect Parsons and Tucker Kraft to be back at full strength, and the defense, under new coordinator Jonathan Gannon, should be hitting its stride. The Rams are a team with a chip on their shoulder, eager to return to Super Bowl contention after coming up short the last 2 seasons. For the Packers, defeating a formidable opponent like the Rams on the road would not only bolster their confidence, but also signal to the league that they're serious contenders. But let's not overlook the potential trap game against the New Orleans Saints. Head coach Matt LaFleur dismissed the notion of trap games last season, but the Packers fell victim to at least 2 such instances. After a promising start, they suffered a shocking defeat against a struggling Cleveland Browns team, and later, a disjointed performance against the Carolina Panthers compounded their woes. This year, a late-season matchup against the Saints could prove just as treacherous. With the Saints not expected to be a top contender, the Packers must guard against complacency after facing tougher opponents like the Rams. Each game is crucial, and they cannot afford to make the same mistakes as last year. Then there's the looming showdown with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills on Sunday Night Football. Allen is undoubtedly one of the league's elite quarterbacks, and facing him will be a true test of the Packers' defense. A split against the Rams and Bills wouldn't be a disaster, but securing a victory against the Bills could elevate the Packers' standing and prove their legitimacy as title contenders. The importance of this game skyrockets if they happen to drop the earlier contest against the Rams. And as if that weren't enough, the Packers must also prepare for the Miami Dolphins, who bring a blend of familiarity and competition that could easily lead to an upset if they're not careful. With several former Packers and coaches now in Miami, there's bound to be a fierce rivalry. The Packers have to ensure they keep their eyes on the prize and not get ahead of themselves, especially with tougher matchups looming. The Christmas clash against the Chicago Bears at Lambeau could also be monumental, depending on the context of the NFC North standings. Last year, a late collapse against the Bears cost the Packers dearly, and this year's game could carry just as much weight. With potential playoff implications on the line, every detail matters. If Green Bay enters that game with everything at stake, they will have navigated this defining stretch well. Finally, let's talk about the Monday night matchup against the Houston Texans. This game could serve as a litmus test for the Packers' revamped offensive line. With the Texans boasting a formidable defensive unit ranked high in various categories last season, keeping Jordan Love clean in the pocket will be crucial. The stakes could not be higher. This game might very well determine playoff positioning or even the division title. There's a lot on the line for the Green Bay Packers this season, and how they navigate this critical stretch could dictate their playoff destiny. If they find themselves in contention at the end of the season, it will signal that they learned from past mistakes. However, if they falter, we'll have plenty of questions to answer as we look toward the future. Now, moving on, let's dive into the next segment where we'll discuss the latest developments surrounding the team's roster and any potential trades that could shake things up.
The Green Bay Packers are clearly not finished making moves to reshape their secondary, and the stakes are high for Carrington Valentine as the offseason progresses. With new additions like veteran cornerback Benjamin St-Juste and the promising rookie Brandon Cisse, speculation is swirling that Valentine could be in jeopardy of losing his spot on the roster as we look ahead to the 2026 season. Fans, Where are you tuning in from? Leave your thoughts below on this potential shakeup. At first glance, the very notion of cutting Valentine might raise eyebrows. After all, the former 7th-round pick has had his moments, starting games for the Packers over the last couple of seasons and flashing enough talent to suggest he could become a key contributor in our secondary. However, the reality is that the Packers have been aggressive in revamping the cornerback room, and competition is fiercer than ever. Over the offseason, Green Bay has been proactive, addressing the glaring inconsistencies that plagued the secondary last year. Reports indicated that the coaching staff was particularly dissatisfied with the number of explosive plays and touchdown passes allowed, which places players like Valentine under intense scrutiny as training camp approaches. Valentine's performance in the 2025 season was a mixed bag, to say the least. While he was a valuable rotational piece and occasionally demonstrated solid coverage skills, the statistics tell a troubling story. Opposing quarterbacks frequently targeted him, resulting in 7 touchdown receptions allowed and a staggering passer rating above 120 when he was in coverage. These struggles were magnified during crunch time in key games, leading to a sense of urgency within the organization. General Manager Brian Gutekunst has been vocal about the need for improvements in the secondary, and the Packers' offseason moves reflect that intent. The infusion of talent into the cornerback position raises the stakes for veterans and former contributors alike. For Valentine, the most significant factor regarding his future may hinge on how quickly Cisse develops. ESPN has already highlighted that Valentine was on shaky ground before the Packers drafted Cisse, and with the potential for rookies to earn roles, the pressure is mounting. If Cisse demonstrates that he's ready to step in and contribute right away, the Packers may lean toward younger players with more long-term potential, further complicating Valentine's situation. Adding to the mix is veteran cornerback K'Shawn Nixon, who is also in the fight for playing time, intensifying the competition at a position that's already under a microscope. But it's not all doom and gloom for Valentine. He does have some advantages that may help him cling to a roster spot. His experience as a starter in Green Bay's system holds considerable value, particularly as the coaching staff looks for players who can fit into their plans seamlessly. Plus, he remains a cost-effective option and has made contributions on special teams throughout his career. However, the NFL landscape is ever-changing, and for late-round picks, that can mean their job security is anything but certain. The Packers' clear focus is on enhancing depth, athleticism, and playmaking ability in the secondary after last season's defensive struggles. As training camp approaches, one thing is certain: it's going to be one of the most competitive battles for a roster spot on the entire team. While analysts discussing the possibility of Valentine being cut may seem alarmist, it's a testament to how dramatically the cornerback room has evolved in a matter of months. As we prepare to shift our focus to the next item, keep an eye on how the competition shakes out. The stakes are high, and every rep in training camp will matter as the Packers look to solidify their secondary heading into the new season.
As we dive into the final segment of our coverage, the anticipation around the Green Bay Packers' upcoming season is palpable. With the NFL's 2026 regular season schedule now out, fans are already buzzing with excitement and speculation about the matchups ahead. It's about to get interesting, especially considering the rumors swirling around potential trades and new player acquisitions. So, where are you watching from, Packers Nation? Leave your thoughts in the comments below as we break down what's to come. The Packers are gearing up for another challenging season, and as always, the schedule brings a mix of familiar foes and intriguing clashes. Opening the season, Green Bay will take on the Chicago Bears, a rivalry that never fails to ignite the passion of both fan bases. This matchup not only sets the tone for the season, but also gives the Packers a chance to assert dominance early on. Looking at the overall schedule, it's clear that the Packers will face a series of formidable opponents throughout the season. Notably, they have some critical primetime games that will showcase their prowess on a national stage. The Packers are no strangers to high-stakes games, and this year will be no different. The spotlight will be on them as they navigate through crucial divisional matchups, especially against the Minnesota Vikings and Detroit Lions, both teams looking to make their mark. Speaking of the Vikings, can we talk about how essential it is for Green Bay to stay ahead in the NFC North? Analysts are already predicting a fierce battle for playoff positioning. It's games like these that could ultimately shape the standings. The competition is fierce, and every divisional game carries significant weight. The anticipation doesn't stop there. Fans are buzzing about a potential international game, with speculation about whether the Packers might take their talents overseas. The NFL has been keen on expanding its global footprint, and it wouldn't be surprising to see Green Bay participate in an international showcase. Imagine the sea of green and gold in a stadium abroad. As we look deeper into the schedule, it's worth noting that the Packers have a mid-season bye week that could be pivotal. This time off could provide the necessary rest for key players, allowing them to recharge and refocus for the second half of the season. It's crucial to maintain momentum, and managing player health will be a top priority for the coaching staff. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: roster changes. With the trade rumors swirling, fans are left wondering about potential new faces in the locker room. The front office has been active, and while nothing is confirmed, the whispers of potential trades could drastically alter the team's dynamics. Will the Packers make a splash before the season kicks off? Only time will tell. As we wrap up our schedule breakdown, it's essential to remember the heart and soul of this team: the fans. You are the lifeblood of the Green Bay Packers, and your unwavering support will be crucial as the team navigates the ups and downs of the season. So, what are your thoughts on the schedule? Which games are you most excited about? Don't hold back. Share your opinions in the comments. And as we look ahead, make sure to subscribe for all the latest news and updates surrounding the Green Bay Packers. We'll be here every step of the way, bringing you the insights you crave as the season unfolds. Here's to a thrilling 2026 season ahead. Go Pack Go!